What's going on, fellas? Welcome to the first official episode of the Higgie and Rob podcast. You guys know us previously as the All Boys podcast. We are new and improved, launching our new brand, Higgie and Rob, your favorite office duo. I am going to be your host, Higgie, of course. Alongside me is my co-host and content master, Mr. Robert. We hope today turns out to be a good show for you guys. How are you doing today, Rob?
Man, I'm doing great, Higgs. We hope to take the users on a journey with this podcast deeper inside the XCFL. I think there are a lot of personalities that we hope to bring to the surface.
Yeah, for sure. Today on our show, we will do, two or three segments that we've got planned. We're going to keep it short and sweet for you guys. Try to keep this podcast to around 30 minutes or so. We're going to cover our user evaluations, just to evaluate some of the users in the XCFL up to this point. We have an interview scheduled just after lunch, believe it or not. And of course, we cannot forget our office rant, where we will have a heated discussion, and that's going to be pretty spicy later on. So we hope you guys enjoy that. We're going to start off with our evaluation segment here. Rob, why don't you go ahead and start us off with your evaluations first?
All right. Well, it only seems fitting that I start by giving my write-up to Coach Boone. In the last draft, Eli Pope fell right in his lap. I know he needed pass rush, but Mr. Pope is a future superstar X factor. That would have made the golf trade look so much wiser. Instead, he picks up Viper Vic Palmer, which is Carson's younger brother, in the 6th round. And although Victor's off to a good start, I feel like Eli was a rare talent, and he missed out right there. My pay raise goes to NWS. He made a trade last season to bring in Joey Bosa, which netted him a division championship. And, he also got the Most Outstanding Player award, and he's the new all-time sack record holder in the XCFL. Amazing season. The question is, will that record stand, or will we see it fall this upcoming season? That's mine. Who you got at this, Higgy?
Well, it's funny that you say that about NWS. Great season last season, no doubt. Joey Bosa was a great pickup. But we're 2 full weeks into the season as we record this right now. And starting off with my evaluations for today, I'm going to have to give the write-up to the Vikings and Coach Lesnar. Because this team was a playoff team last year and had a fearsome defense, no doubt. So far this year, they have given up a total of 92 points in 2 games and have already conceded their first 50 burger of the year. This team has been underperforming, and it is just unacceptable, and that's why they get my today's write-up. They have to turn things around with that team. My recommendation for today's raise goes to the bitter rivals of the Vikings, the Chicago Bears. They fell short of the playoffs last season, but have come out this season and are 2-0 with 2 quality wins, one over the Vikings and the other over the Redskins, who are starting to develop a good team, and they have a great coach. These are 2 high-quality wins to start the season, and puts the Bears in a great spot starting out. Well, that's it for our evaluations for the day. Pretty short and sweet. And today, we have a very special guest on the show. We had to go big for our inaugural episode. Believe it or not, this person didn't want to interview with anyone else except for her favorite office duo. Everyone, please welcome Miss Brooklyn Decker. How are you doing today, Brooklyn?
Hey, I'm doing great, guys. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Very big honor to be on your guys' first episode.
I just want to say that the honor is all ours. You're our first office guest, What's that? Oh, we've just been informed that we've just received our first official dress code violation.
Whoops, my bad.
No worries. I can't unsee this, and that's a good thing. Moving on. I'm no stranger to Cincinnati. I coached there last season and had a wonderful time. What have you and your son Dalton embraced about the city in the first few weeks?
The fan base, they are so loyal. I know they love Max Eckert and injury shortened his career, but they have supported Dalton and I from day one. Sometimes I feel like these fans would do anything I ask them to.
Oh, I'm sure they would.
Miss Decker, how do you and your family afford to send Dalton to Texas? How did you guys do that? We know he was not on a scholarship, and that he was a walk on, and we know that that's a really great story for Dalton. Um, but was it tough trying to help him pay for his time in college, or was that something you guys had planned out ahead of time?
Well, guys, it wasn't easy. I've had to give a very special thanks to Tom Herman. He has been a great coach and mentor to my son at his time at Texas. But me and him had a very long sit down in his office one day, and we had a very special relationship. So he was willing to make the financials work for us and was a big help.
Am I the only one sweating in here? Uh, Brooklyn, in a division with powerhouses like Tosh, Jared, Regan, what is Dalton's expectations for success in the XCFL?
Dalton has been a winner from Pop Warner and up to college. I would say Dalton expects to put Cincinnati in the playoffs, and then we will see where it goes.
All right, all right. Well, last question. And this one was sent to me by, of course, Chadwick. He wants to know if you're still single and if you've ever considered dating someone from the Jersey Shore, like the Big Rig himself.
I can honestly say I haven't thought too much about that. Right now, I'm focused on my son, getting off to a good start, and relaunching my modeling career.
Well, Brooklyn, we want to thank you for coming on the show. It was an honor. I think the listeners and the league are going to enjoy this interview. I don't think anybody was really expecting to hear from you. So I want to say thanks for coming, and we hope to maybe have you show on the show again in the future.
Absolutely, anytime. Thanks, guys.
All right, see ya. Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed that little interview with Miss Brooklyn. There, she's been the talk of the town over there in Cincinnati. We've been hearing a lot about her. It's kind of weird. We've been hearing more about her out of Cincinnati than we have out of the actual football team. But we're going to move on here to our last segment of the show, our office rant. Today in our office rant, we're going to discuss a popular topic lately in the XCFL, the hit stick. This is a mechanic in our league that can be a game changer, and for some, a game destroyer. We have guys building their team around the hit stick. Rob, I'm going to let you start off on this. What are your thoughts on the hit stick?
I hate it, plain and simple. I don't hit stick. I can't begin to tell you how many games I've lost because of untimely fumbles. I'm sure you, of all people, get tired of me venting on the hit stick, but to me, it has no place in the XCFL.
See, here's the deal. This is where I get a little worked up on the topic. Does the hit stick cause a lot of fumbles in the XCFL? Yeah, sure it does. But, I mean, how many guys are conservative with their ball carrying or pass catching, though? If you game plan properly around it, you can combat the hit stick. It's not that hard. Sure, you can argue that the NFL players don't fumble as much as they do in the XCFL. But on the same note, NFL players won't run straight up and down into Derwin James without covering the ball up or bracing for the hit, or else they would definitely be out of a job pretty quickly. Too many XCFL users are not taking the proper precautions when it comes to hit sticking, and they just want to complain instead of just figuring it out. It's easier to make excuses for some, I guess, but answer me this question, Rob. If Edmonds, Hyde, or Poyer play a big hit in the next NFL game for the Buffalo Bills, are you going to complain at the team that they shouldn't be hitting hard like that and causing fumbles? Or do you only want the XCFL to turn into the Powder Puff League?
I've heard this argument, Higgs. For me, it's simple. Madden needs to reduce the amount of fumbles per game. In real life, if a running back fumbles 2 or 3 times a game, he would be released on Monday morning. One fumble makes sense, but when it comes to multiple fumbles, I'm not a fan.
I agree. I agree that the fumble numbers are higher than normal. My whole argument on this is, for instance, do you conservative carry? I don't think you do. I'm not sure there's that many users in the XFL that do. Sure, there are some. But do you cover the ball when taking contact? Probably not. The majority of the users probably don't use those mechanics because they like to worry about the juking, and if we use that, it takes away from the juke. We've heard people talking about it. But so to me, that argument makes no sense because you're right. If an NFL running back doesn't protect the ball, he's going to get cut or traded or whatever. A lot of these users aren't even using the mechanic in game to cover the ball and turn on conservative carry. That's the option to combat the hit stick. Will it stop it completely? Probably not. Will it help? Absolutely. I believe in a division. I play in a division with the hardest hitting team in the league with Brackett and the Chargers. I mean, the dude's got like 6 safeties that just can just lay it to you. It's insane. And I've learned that you got a game plan around it. When I play him, yes, I mean it's hard to avoid the fumbles, but I don't get that many when I play him. And could EA turn down the fumble percentage? Maybe they could turn it down a tad. But are we as a league just going to sit around and complain and cry about it, or are we going to find a way to keep playing? I believe and keep moving forward. It's the same for everybody. We're all playing the same game. I can use the hit stick and turn on conservative carry to combat the hit stick just as easy as you can. I mean, when something gets hard, we can't just jump on an argument to take it out of the game. The hit stick has been a part of Madden for years. It's nothing new.
I do not conservative carry. I could try that. I'm not wanting to remove it. Just adjust sliders and make it more realistic. Do I complain about it to you? Yes, I do. Did I give up an early fumble from a hit stick last night in part? The answer, yeah. It appears, Higgs, that we agree to disagree on this subject. I just wonder what other users think about this.
Things do need to be more realistic. It is unrealistic for ball carriers to not properly protect the ball. To me, that's the unrealistic part. I want to see more XCFL users using mechanics in game to combat the hit stick because they're there and not everyone's using them. We will have a poll question up on Twitter for the listeners to vote which side of this argument they agree with. Do you want to see the XCFL go soft and turn down the hit stick to appease the softies? Or do we want to encourage the users in our league to get better at avoiding big hits and game plan better and play smarter? We want you guys to place your votes on our poll that we'll put on Twitter shortly after this video comes out, and we will cover the results next episode. All right, guys, to end the show, we've actually got a little extra time here, more than I thought we might have. So, to end our show today, we're just going to go through a quick run through of our way too early division winner predictions. I'll start us off, and then Rob, you can tell me if you agree or disagree, or let me know who you think.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and start with the AFC. We'll just start with the AFC North. AFC North, I got a close battle between the Browns and the Ravens, but the Browns already have one win, and I think that win could turn out to be crucial. I'm going to say the Browns edge this out again and win that division.
All right. Well, I mean, clearly picking the Super Bowl champ there. You know what? Regan's my boy. He is the guy that I really look up to and admire. And you know what? I know we're only in season 2, but what better way for him to start than use his Hollywood Brown and get him a division championship? So I'm going to take the Ravens.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I can see that, but I think Tosh gets it done. We'll move on to the South. The South, I'm gonna go with a kind of an underdog pick here. The Texans and Chadwick have pretty much owned this division so far. I mean, as everybody in the league knows, he keeps posting that he's undefeated in the division. We all get it. We all get it. But I'm gonna go with my boy Grizz, man. Grizz has what it takes, and I know he's already lost to Chadwick once this season, but he can even that up later in the season when he plays him again. And I'm taking Grizz and the Jags as the kind of underdog pick to win this division.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, Big Rig is 3-0 right now in his division. So, I mean, I'm looking at that thinking it's definitely Texas all day long.
Yeah, that's definitely the safe pick. Chadwick is playing well, believe it or not. It's kind of weird, but I gotta go with my boy Grizz, and I just think he can get it done. He can pull out a miracle.
Okay.
All right, going to the East. This is your division here, and I've got the Jets. Jets taking it. They've got a big win over the Patriots already, and I think Josh is. I mean, as long as he doesn't have one of his 15 holidays coming up, he's gonna take this division.
Well, nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. I mean, we're 0-3, and we've been struggling a little bit. But okay, maybe I'm not going to pick myself on this, but um, we're not out of it yet. But we definitely got to work cut out for us. But no, I'll agree. I hate to agree with you, but Josh is a beast in that division, and he's already got the Patriots once, so I'm going to say him too.
Hey, we agree on something.
Very rarely.
Okay, moving on to the West. This is my division. I am not going to pick myself because I am not going to put
Well, I'm not going to pick you.
to put that on me. So I don't know. I'm not convinced it's going to be my year yet. I'm going to go with one of the 2 best rosters in the division, and the guy who proved he could get in last season and bracket with the Chargers with the hard hitting safeties. I'm saying he comes out on top in the West.
Well, it would be real easy for me to look at that 3-0 start by the Broncos and jump all over it. I mean, you know, they're drinking the Kool-Aid in Denver, and I get it. And you're off to a great start, Higgie. Um, man, I want to pick Sean so bad because he was in the division with me last year, and he's so much fun to play. But I'm going to do Sean a favor, and I'm not going to pick him because I'm not going to jinx him. I'll go with the Broncos in the West.
I appreciate that.
Regrettingly go with the Broncos in the West.
Well, if those Bills could win a game, I might have picked them in the East.
A win we need bad.
Yeah, it'll come. It'll come. Let's move on to the NFC. Try to wrap this up. We'll start with the North again. I've got the Packers pulling this one out. The Vikings are off to a slow start. The Bears are going to be tough. The Bears are definitely going to be tough. I think this will be a close battle between the two, but I think Pride pulls it together, and he's going to come out on top.
Well, I want to pick Pride. He's obviously part of the mafia with myself, but there's only one team in this division that's got T.J. Hawkinson. I mean, let's face facts here. So I'm going to put my vote toward TJ's Lions and say that He finds a way and gets it done.
Choosing the underdog in the division. I like it.
Absolutely.
Aries is a good user. He's definitely got what it takes, but I've got to go with pride on this one. Aries is not a bad underdog choice. NFC South. Brian, love you, man, and you're probably going to prove me wrong, but I've got to go with Nick and the Bucks.
Wow.
I think he's going to do something special this season. He already did. I mean, he already played great last season, and right now they're, pretty much even on record as we record this, and I think he's gonna pull it out. This is another division. I love this cycle so far because it seems so balanced division wise, and I think we're gonna see some different things like that where some guys who people may not have thought would win it are gonna win some, and I think Nick's gonna take it.
Well, and Nick is actually 3-0 because he did get the force win over the Eagles, so he's actually 3-0. And he's off to a great start. The only thing that's bizarre about this division is Nick's 3-0 hasn't even played a division game yet. That gets real dicey when that goes down. I think it's important to get division wins. I mean, obviously, with that being said, Dave goes against Brian. He's already beaten Brian in the division. But other than that, that's the only division activity that's going on. At the end of the day, with everything said and done, as great a user as Dave is, as Nick, he's a great user. IREC is in this division. This is a loaded division. I'm going to cast my vote with Brian. I'm saying the Panthers do what they need to do and end up coming back and taking this division.
Yeah, that's another safe pick. I mean, he's proven to be the guy to beat in that division, but I definitely think that you're going to see some of those guys definitely give him his run for his money and challenge him for that top spot. The NFC East, I've got the Van Flank-led Cowboys taking this one and making another long run in the playoffs. That's my prediction. He's got the team, got the confidence. He's a good user, and with that team, he's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, I got really fortunate playing him last year and snuck a regular season victory, but he is so good with that team. And Van Der Esch is a beast, and he's definitely got some talent. But I don't want to get known for agreeing with you, so I'm not going to pick the Cowboys. Air V, I mean, he's 0-3, but who knows? But I can't pick him either. Although I'd love to, I can't. I'm going to go with Jack. I mean, steady Jack does his job, does what he needs to do, gets his W's, finds his way into the playoffs, and then sustains a run. So I'm going to go Jack.
Yeah, Jack was tough for me not to pick. He's doing great things with his team. I think he's making the right moves, but I still think he's a season or two out from really being able to just keep up with Van and his team. That's why I decided not to take him. We'll move on to the last but not least division here, the NFC West. And if we can't agree on this one, I don't know what you're smoking over there, but I'm not seeing another winner out of this division right now. This could be a competitive division down the road. I'm not seeing another winner out of this division other than Mr. Nick Larson, the commission himself, taking this division hands down. I don't think there's any question about it. If there's anyone who will, it's got to be the unknown new member Black Paul. But without knowing what he brings to the table, I got to go Nick.
Okay. I mean, again, I can't find it in my heart to agree with you, Higgie. Nick is clearly, set a precedence in this league with this play. Um, you know, Brent got me in week 2 by a point, and I played my heart out against that guy. And I know his team isn't quite up to speed yet, but man, he gives it every game. I mean, the Dolphins game, he just lost it, but had a chance right there at the end of the game to come back and win. Don't know anything about Black Paul. Certainly would like to welcome him to the league. And I think we're all going to be kind of curious when someone comes in new on how they play. But for sake of not agreeing with you, that only leaves Coach Boone. He's got Viper Vic now as his QB, Carson's little brother. Who knows? I mean, he passes up Eli Pope for Vic because he knows Vic's going to get into the playoffs. Is the only thing that I can reason out of that. So I'm going to go with Coach Boone.
Coach Boone, a great user, but has just made too many head-scratching moves for me to pick. He could come out and prove the majority of the league wrong, and by all means, I hope he does. But to me, I don't understand what he's doing. I mean, he basically got rid of Cooks and picked up 2 or 3 mediocre players. I don't understand some of the moves he made, but we'll see. We'll see. By the way, I might actually want to change my pick and say, hey, Black Paul, I got faith in you, Black Paul. You know what? When this season's over, we can have discussions about Metcalf. Hit me up.
Oh wow! Way to throw a plug in there. Let's at least let him get a few games so he can legally trade. But hey, there's nothing wrong with a little water cooler chat. I mean, kind of looking at these divisions. I do agree with you from the standpoint that they are very balanced. I mean, it seems like in the AFC and the NFC, there's a lot of parity. I mean, even in the East right now, I'm 0-3, and Josh is 2-1, leading the division. VBD, a great team, is sitting at 1-2, and I mean that's a yearly playoff team right there. And look at Billy. Billy's setting at 2-1. I mean, he's just flying up through there. He just beat the Cardinals in a huge win, a couple pick sixes. So every division is just set up for just a whole season of fun.
Yeah, it really is. We're really fortunate to have the leagues as balanced as they are and as competitive as they are. I don't think you're going to see the guys just taking a division over for the entire cycle. You might in 1 or 2 divisions, but for the most part, I think you're going to see a lot of flip flop for division winners, which is just great for the parity of the league. And I know
absolutely.
I know you as well as me are just more than happy to be part of this league, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for us.
Definitely, amen to that. The XCFL is where it's at. That's for sure. If you're in it, you're having fun, you're having a good time. I know, the chat board gets a little lit up there at times. Nobody likes to lose. Obviously, I hate to lose, but by the same token, I understand it's all part of the process. So it's a great league, a lot of fun, awesome users, very knowledgeable.
Yep, I'm gonna have to agree with you there for the last time. Well, guys, that's the end of our show today. We hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at HiggieRob_XCFL. We will have that poll question up that we just talked about. It's going to be up for a few days, so please go on and place your votes for who you agree with in today's rant. Also, if you guys want to hear any interviews with any other XCFL personalities, players, anybody, any XCFL personalities you guys want to hear from, please let us know. We're going to do our best to make it happen. We will try to do a question and answer segment as well in one of our upcoming shows. So feel free to start tweeting us some questions. We'll hold on to them, and when that episode comes up, we'll handpick a few and we'll put them on the show. Thank you guys again for listening. It's an honor to be able to put these videos out for you guys, and we hope you enjoy. So until next time, Higgie out.
See you later, guys.